So we just got out of Godzilla King of the Monsters. This is the follow-up sequel to the remake of Godzilla from 2014. It's a very fun movie. I think the action set pieces, like the creatures fighting, are really great. They use Mothra in here. They use King Ghidorah. I mean, like, that aspect and the build-up for it is great. But I do like the original build-up where when you first meet Godzilla, you feel the massive scale. I really feel like you didn't feel like this in this one. Kyle Chandler is legit a discount Alan Grant. Like, he was just like, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. Oh, I know what this is. I study with wolves. I'm just like, okay. And I'm sorry. It's going to be said, me as a fan, I don't think that the human plot is really that good. Yeah, like, I don't think the human plot is really that interesting. Oh man, there's this one scientist character they just go without. Oh man, like, and then the main antagonist of the movie, who ends up being the wife, her whole, I won't get into the nitty gritty, but all I'm saying is Thanos did her plan better. And I mean, at that point it didn't make sense. Like, it was like, well, this plan really doesn't make sense to get to this point. I just feel like as a whole, Godzilla King of the Monsters could have been what Kong Skull Island should have been, a nice fun popcorn movie. Instead, we got a meh 2.5 out of 4-star film. Yeah, get out.
Anyway, for people who actually came to see Godzilla, it was great. You get to see all the monsters that you've seen growing up with the original Godzilla films, ready from the Japanese to the American versions. Anybody that's ever seen it, the human plot does not matter. There is hints back to devices that's been used in the original Godzilla films, callbacks to actual characters, and little tidbits that bring it kind of all together in a good, actual, fantastic second reboot. The visual effects were stunning. If you could see it, go see it in RPX, because that's the best way to see it. You felt every little vibration. You really did feel the presence of all monsters there. And it really brings in the sense that Godzilla is king, and the fact is that the human part of the world should not matter when we have depleted all of its resources, and these monsters come back to rightfully take what's theirs and to repurpose the planet as it should be. So that's what really the theme is of the movie, is that these monsters are the ones that are supposed to take the sole focus. The humans do not matter, and I think they do that very well. I'm going to give it 4.
Oh boy.
Let me preface this by saying I've only seen the crappy 90s one, and then the 2014 one, and then this one. I kind of am agreeing with Jared on this one a little bit.
Hey!
Which is rare. But I mean, I know you go into these movies where the humans you're not supposed to care about them, whatever. But the whole kind of plot around this one was just very dumb, I thought. Like, when she was explaining that basically to save the world or restart the world or whatever, she's gonna release all these monsters, which doesn't really make sense at all. And I started literally laughing out loud. But besides that, besides the human characteristics, Curtis was saying, you actually care about the monsters more, which is what they should aim for. Visually, it was stunning. RPX, the theater was shaking, literally shaking. All the battles were great. My favorite scene personally was, I'm just gonna call her 11. What was her name in the movie? Madison.
Maddie, yeah, Madison.
When Godzilla comes back to Boston, she kind of gives that smirk. It was like, oh shit, here we go. It was a great scene. Great scene. I wish little tidbit Ice Cube's son was featured more. He's very underrated. And then I guess these are just kind of nitpicks. I wish they went more into what the woolly mammoth character was and what that big spider was. I was more interested in those. Yeah, I was more interested than in those characters than the other actual main ones. Then another little tidbit was how they got from place to place so fast. That's probably a stupid thing to say, but there was one point they were in Antarctica, and then the next they were in Mexico, right away. And there wasn't really, they referenced Kong here and there, but I kind of wish there was something at the end with Kong. But That's like a spoiler, but whatever. I was leaning towards a 2.5, but I'm gonna be nice and give it a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, give a whole 0.5.
Now
Woo.
it's my turn. Singing with the king of the monsters here. So I have to say, I don't agree with Jared on that little thing, but I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet. I mean, you really don't need no human development in a movie like this because it's just about the monsters. So with that being said, I mean, there's, like Ryan said, I wish you had more time with certain monsters, but what can you say? The movie's about Godzilla. Now, I have to ask you,
Oh,
how many people believe that Kyle Chandler is Ryan Newman's older brother? Let the fans vote on that. Kyle Chandler is Ryan Newman's older brother.
discount Alan.
So with that being said, even though mine's short and sweet tonight, it is a 4, but no Kong. We have to wait until what, next year?
If it happens.
And I don't care what everyone says, this movie was phenomenal. You think everyone kind of harps on the plot, but it's fine. I've seen it work. I've seen worse. The stories in Die Hard plot are worse than the overall reason for her to do what she's doing. So I don't see why that's everyone's harping on that. The movie though, visually is phenomenal. I mean, I had chills every time I heard Godzilla War, I got chills. Seeing King Ghidorah unleash his lightning is just phenomenal. Seeing the other monsters is good. I'm kind of glad you didn't see all of them, because it's given us something to look forward as the franchise continues. The scenes, the subtle interactions that the people have with Godzilla, I think are the best. Like there's a scene on a spoiler alert when they're on a submarine and Godzilla like comes face to face and is staring at them. And you just had chills when it happened because you could just see the eye contact. It was emotionally depth. I felt it. Others might disagree.
They took it from Jurassic Park, but all right.
Apart. You know what? Godzilla would kick the shit out of Jurassic Park any fucking day. Fucking dinosaurs in a park. Who gives a shit? But no, I gotta say this movie was well thought. Godzilla movies historically are very hokey. Like the King Ghidorah is a spoiler. Is actually from the original story, but the way they inserted it without being hokey was actually pretty cool. I thought. The fact that they kind of explained how all the monsters form their own like ecosystem was cool. And it had so many cool throwbacks. They had original music from the original Godzilla, which I'm a huge fan of. So for me, this movie was phenomenal. This movie was top one. I would give it a 5 out of 5. Yeah, because Jared doesn't know shit.